When the cameras stop rolling and the crew goes home, the sets are supposed to come down, but sometimes they don't. In this video, we revisit movie sets that were abandoned after filming and see what remains today. Star Wars Lars Homestead, Tozeur, Tunisia. Built in 1976 for the original Star Wars on a salt flat in southern Tunisia, where Luke Skywalker gazed at the twin suns. Left in the desert after filming, slowly buried by sand, partially restored by fans in 2012. Star Wars Mos Espa, Ong Jamal, Tunisia. Built for The Phantom Menace in 1997 near the original Lars Homestead location. Abandoned after filming, the plaster facades are cracking and sand dunes have begun migrating into the streets of the fictional town. Hobbiton, Matamata, New Zealand. Built for The Lord of the Rings in 1999 on a sheep farm, partially dismantled after filming and left as overgrown ruins for a decade. Rebuilt with permanent materials for The Hobbit in 2011, now one of New Zealand's most popular tourist attractions. Popeye Village, Anchor Bay, Malta. Built in 1980 by Robert Altman for the Robin Williams Popeye film, with 19 wooden buildings on the rocky shore. Left standing after production, converted by the Maltese government into a tourist attraction that still operates today. Ewok Village location, Miller Relum Redwood Company land, Smith River, California. The Ewok Village in Return of the Jedi was built in 1982 on private logging land, not in a protected state park. The logging company clear-cut the entire grove after filming, and the original forest where the village stood no longer exists. Blade Runner Street, Warner Brothers backlot, Burbank, California. Ridley Scott transformed New York Street into rain-soaked 2019 Los Angeles for the 1982 film. Stripped of its futuristic modifications within weeks of the last shot, the street has been redressed thousands of times since. Tombstone movie set, Mescal, Arizona. Standing western town, originally built in 1970 for Monty Walsh, later used for Tombstone, The Quick and the Dead, and dozens of other westerns. Sits baking in the Arizona sun between productions, its wooden facades bleaching and warping after over 50 years. Kingdom of Heaven, set, Ouarzazate, Morocco. Ridley Scott's 2005 medieval Jerusalem set was never fully demolished after filming. Portions were incorporated into the Atlas Studios backlot, while others stand in the open desert, plaster facades crumbling in the Saharan borderlands. Jurassic Park locations, Kualoa Ranch, Oahu, Hawaii. The dramatic green ridgelines of Kea'awa Valley served as the primary exterior location for the 1993 film and several sequels. The ranch now operates a thriving film tourism business with guided tours of marked locations from Jurassic Park, Lost, and Kong, Skull Island. Apocalypse Now, Kurt's Compound, Bugsanjan River, Laguna, Philippines. Francis Ford Coppola built an elaborate compound set along the Pagsanjan River for the film's climax. The entire set was rigged with explosives and destroyed at the end of production, the explosion visible in the end credits of some theatrical cuts. Platoon Jungle Locations, Philippines. Oliver Stone filmed in the Philippine jungle, leaving behind remnants in the tropical undergrowth. The specific filming locations are nearly impossible to identify without a guide, the jungle having reclaimed everything. The beach, Maya Bay, Phi Phi Lay, Thailand. Danny Boyle's 2000 film starring Leonardo DiCaprio was shot at Maya Bay, where the production altered the beach by moving dunes and planting palms. Tourism destroyed the coral reefs, forcing the Thai government to close the bay in 2018. Fury Road Wastelands, Dorob National Park, Namibia. George Miller filmed much of Mad Max, Fury Road in the Namib Desert in 2012, leaving vehicle tracks and landscape alterations. Tire tracks from the war rig chase remained visible for years in the fragile desert surface. The Overlook Hotel exterior, Timberline Lodge, Mount Hood, Oregon. Stanley Kubrick used the lodge exterior as the Overlook Hotel in The Shining, but filmed all interiors on sound stages in England. The lodge still operates as a ski resort, and the hedge maze from the film never existed at the location. In Bruges locations, Bruges, Belgium. Martin McDonagh's 2008 dark comedy used the medieval city's Belfry Tower, canals and squares with minimal alteration. Tourism increased significantly after the film's release. Visitors now walking the same routes as Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson. Hengdian World Studios, Zhejiang Province, China. The largest film studio in the world at over 7,000 acres, containing full-scale replicas of the Forbidden City and the Old Summer Palace. Between productions, the massive sets sit empty, a faithful reconstruction of ruins abandoned until the next camera arrives. Wadi Rum Desert, Jordan. Filming location for Lawrence of Arabia, The Martian, Rogue One, and Dune. The desert landscape requires no construction. Productions leave minimal physical traces, but the locations are now marketed primarily as film tourism destinations. Monument Valley, Utah, and Arizona. Iconic Western landscape used by John Ford for Stagecoach, The Searchers, and dozens of other films. The Navajo Nation operates guided tours of specific filming locations across the tribal park. Skellig Michael, County Kerry, Ireland. The remote island monastery used as Luke Skywalker's exile location in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. UNESCO World Heritage Site, where filming required extensive environmental protections, visitor numbers now capped due to the site's fragility. Dubrovnik Old Town, Croatia. Used as King's Landing in Game of Thrones from 2012 to 2019, with minimal physical alteration to the medieval walls and streets. Tourism surged after the show aired, with the city now managing overcrowding, partly driven by fans walking the locations. Matmata Troglodyte Dwellings, Tunisia. Underground Berber structures used as Luke Skywalker's childhood home in the original Star Wars. The Hotel Sidi Driss, where interior scenes were filmed, still operates as a hotel with the original set decorations preserved in its dining room. Puzzlewood, Forest of Dean, England. Ancient woodland used as a filming location for Star Wars, The Force Awakens, Doctor Who, and Merlin. The moss-covered rock formations and twisted trees require no set dressing. The forest has been open to visitors for over a century. Petra, Jordan. The ancient Nabatean city carved into rose-red cliffs served as the Canyon of the Crescent Moon in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. The Treasury facade has been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1985 and draws over 1 million visitors annually. Angkor Wat, Siem Reap, Cambodia. The vast temple complex appeared in Lara Croft, Tomb Raider in 2001, with filming at Ta Prohm Temple where trees grow through the ancient stone walls. Tourism exploded after the film, with the temples now among the most visited sites in Southeast Asia. Pinewood Studios, Backlot, Buckinghamshire, England. Home to the James Bond franchise since 1962, with the 007 stage built specifically for The Spy Who Loved Me in 1976. Sets are continuously built and demolished, but the massive sound stages remain the permanent backbone of British filmmaking. Cinecittà Studios, Rome, Italy. Federico Fellini's creative home, where he built elaborate fantasy versions of Rome rather than filming on real streets. The backlot sets for Gangs of New York and HBO's Rome stood for years between productions before eventual demolition. Almeria Desert, Andalusia, Spain. Spaghetti Western capital, where Sergio Leone filmed The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly and A Fistful of Dollars. 3 Western town sets still stand in the desert as tourist attractions. Mini Hollywood, Fort Bravo, and Western Leon. Iverson Ranch, Chatsworth, California. One of the most filmed outdoor locations in Hollywood history, used in hundreds of westerns, serials, and television shows from the 1920s through the 1970s. The ranch was sold to developers in the 1980s and is now a residential neighborhood. Spawn Ranch, Chatsworth, California. Former Western movie, set used in The Creeping Terror and Duel at Diablo, that became infamous as the home base of the Manson family in 1969. Destroyed by fire in 1970, the site is now part of Santa Susana Pass State Historic Park. Corriganville, Simi Valley, California. Movie ranch built by stuntman Ray Crash Corrigan in 1937, used for hundreds of westerns and television shows, including The Adventures of Rin Tin Tin. Destroyed by fire in 1970, the site is now Corriganville Regional Park, with interpretive signs marking former set locations. In Seville, Pacific Palisades, California. Thomas Ince built one of the first major movie studios on this coastal canyon site in 1912, producing hundreds of silent westerns. The studio was demolished after Ince's mysterious death in 1924. The site is now residential homes and parkland. Bronson Canyon, Griffith Park, Los Angeles. The cave entrance used as the Bat Cave in the 1966 Batman television series and appeared in hundreds of other productions. The tunnel still exists in Griffith Park, one of the most accessible and continuously filmed locations in Hollywood. Vasquez Rocks, Agua Dulce, California. Distinctive tilted sandstone formations used in Star Trek, Blazing Saddles, The Flintstones, and hundreds of other productions since the silent era. Now, a Los Angeles County park, the rocks require no set construction and have appeared on screen more than almost any natural formation in the world. Black Park, Buckinghamshire, England. Dense woodland adjacent to Pinewood Studios used as a filming location for the Harry Potter series, Sleepy Hollow, Captain America, and dozens of other productions. The pine forest doubles as virtually any dark woodland on Earth and remains a public country park. Goblin Valley State Park, Utah. The eerie mushroom-shaped rock formations served as an alien landscape in Galaxy Quest and appeared in numerous science fiction productions. The formations are naturally occurring and require no set dressing to look otherworldly. Krafla Lava Fields, Iceland. Volcanic landscape near Lake Maivetien, used as filming locations for Game of Thrones, including scenes beyond the wall. The barren terrain serves as a stand-in for fantasy wastelands with minimal production alteration. Atlas Studios, Backlot, Ouarzazate, Morocco. The largest film studio in Africa, home to standing sets from Gladiator, Kingdom of Heaven, and Game of Thrones. The massive Egyptian temple gates that tourists photograph were built for the 2002 French comedy Asterix and Obelix, Mission Cleopatra, Tabernas Desert, Almeria, Spain. The only true desert in continental Europe, used as a filming location for Lawrence of Arabia, Indiana Jones, and The Last Crusade, and hundreds of westerns. Productions have been filming in the same landscape since the 1960s. Bombay Beach, Salton Sea, California. Once a thriving resort town, now a decaying collection of abandoned trailers and art installations used in Into the Wild, the Salton Sea, and dozens of music videos seeking post-apocalyptic scenery without a construction budget. Body, California. Preserved Gold Rush ghost town, used as a filming location for commercials, documentaries, and period pieces. Now, a California State Historic Park maintained in arrested decay, with original buildings untouched since the town was abandoned.